Hello and welcome to another Burst Edition Odd Purple podcast, and I think you can tell the mood today is going to be quite grim and it's not going to be pleasant. And in fact, if you are a Republican, you may want to switch off right now because this show is not for you today. Now, it's for just us Democrats and supporters of women's hockey, okay? So, I think you guys all know the story by now, okay? And, yeah, it's just, I honestly don't know where to begin. And we as a trio, in fact, Pluto Lady are here. I don't know if they want to come on. Because originally, this was their idea. We found out about the big furore on last Monday, so it was the day after the closing ceremony of Milano, our first day back on the podcast. That's when we found about the furore. And initially, Pluto Lady straight away was like, right, we want to do an episode on this. And I just tried to talk them out. I was like, no, I don't think we should do it. I don't think so. But they were kind of like, yeah, well, it's 2 against 1, majority rules. And I was like, yeah, well, it's my show. I'm the director. I get to make the calls. But they were adamant, they insist on it. I then slept on it. The next day I was like, you know what? No, we're not doing it because I am not giving this administration power. That's the last thing. The last thing I want to do right now is have a go at the administration for their part in this and slag them all off, okay? That's the last thing I want to do. Because I probably would get banned from entering the country. And I kind of need to stay on the good side of the government in the US because I need to still visit the USA and Canada to go and watch PWHL hockey for the next several decades. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And secondly, why would I want to give the administration power? And make them go, oh look, there's another one we might have to get to. We've ignored another one. And oh look, he's British! Bonus! Okay, don't want to do that. Okay. I don't want to do that. But as the week then got on, I then thought, you know what? I think I have to. Because this disgusting joke, I'm not going to tell you what it was. I'm not going to go through it. The video's out there. The clip's out there. And I think shame on the View for playing that clip. Because I did not want to because I did not want to have to see the clip. Okay? I didn't want to see it, but sadly, I did. We played it. So, thank you. Thank you very much, Whoopi! Thank you very much. I miss you, Alyssa. Come back soon. Okay? So yeah, but I kind of thought, right, as the week was going on, this was actually starting to get to the whole trio. It offended Pluto, it was obsessing Lady, and it absolutely disgusted me and made my blood boil. Okay? So it was the Wednesday. Lady was getting upset about it because, rightly so, do you want to come up? No, she doesn't want to come up now. Can I say on your behalf? Thank you very much. Okay. So Lady was getting upset by it because, and rightly so, she felt that this was taking away from all that hard work that we had done in Milano Cortina. And I felt the exact same thing. Because we should have been so proud of what Team USA women did in Milano Cortina. They were literally unstoppable. Only twice did they let a goal in. That was the first game against Czechia on day 1. And the goal match against Canada on the last day. I don't know what I did numbers because it was so many days I've lost count. Okay? That's the only time. And there were so many other achievements, like how Aaron Franco nearly went more than 400 minutes without giving up a goal. Gwen Phillips had a clean sheet for the whole tournament. Harry Knight, surpassing the record for most points and most goals scored in the Olympic tournament. All time. So, and also you had the likes of, from our front, you had Taya Heisey and Britta Calsalemi getting their first Olympic goals. And of course, Megan Keller being the one that got the golden goal. Those are the things that really people should have been talking about when it came to women's hockey for USA. But sadly, this disgusting, sexist, misogynistic joke is what we were all talking about. And that was really upsetting Lady, because she felt our achievements were being sidelined and all anyone could talk about was this disgusting joke. Okay? So I absolutely understand why she was upset, because I thought the exact same reasons, but I was more disgusted, pissed off. I couldn't, it's just, yeah, so it's had a massive impact on the Purple Trio. But since then, we've had our moment, okay? We've had our moment. And then on Thursday last week, so February 26th, when the PHL got back into action, what did we do? We just went straight back to work. We just went straight back to work in our mission from day one, which is to support this league in whatever way we can. That's what we did. We just got straight back to action. And I kid you not, when the stream started, so it was the big twat at the Sirens, when that stream started, I literally just, the first thing I said was, I missed you. Which was a bit odd, because as I said, well, you technically still had your women's hockey picks in February. And I was like, yeah, but it was kind of like how it's been for the World Championships, where you go away for 3 weeks with that, and you focus on this international tournament, and then you come straight back, and you then go back to crunch time. But it just didn't. But obviously, watching Milano didn't feel the same compared to watching the PHL, mainly because with the PHL you actually have professionals doing the commentary. So I really did. So while yes, I still had the Olympics, had women's hockey there, I really did miss the PHL because it's just the best league in the world. And I'm really pleased to see that the Olympics is having an impact on the PHL. We're seeing, this past weekend just gone, we saw Montreal and Ottawa sell out. Seattle bursting at the seas, where they literally had to sell standing room early tickets, which I'm not sure is supposed to have been done before the PHL. And Vancouver also at near full capacity. So it's really exciting. It is interesting to see what happens with TO, Boston, and obviously Minnesota, because those three teams have yet to have their first games at home back from Milano. In fact, Plur last night, we were watching our game in Montreal. Plur said, "Is our first home game back now when we're on the trip?" He's like, and we were like, "Yeah." So when we're there next week, I will not be surprised if we get like a little celebration moment like Montreal did with their Olympians last night. That would not surprise me. So so it has had an effect on the Purple Trio. It has affected us. But what have we done since the PHL got back running? We've got straight back to work. Because that's all we can do. That is all we can do. Just get straight back into work, focus on the mission, focus on the goal, focus on why you're here in the first place, and just get straight back to business. And that's exactly what we did. But, end of the day, this is one of the most disgusting things I think I've had the misfortunes to see or hear about in my life when it comes to sports. And it just shows me, in fact I might need a moment. One sec. This should be something stronger, by the way, but I'm not an alcoholic. Not a drop of alcohol has ever touched my mouth. But I probably could do with something, something stronger, something rosé, something red. Plug has from time to time mentioned the rum. Got all Orlando Bloom on me. Thank you for writing me Orlando Bloom. Well, I thought I'd do that, or it has to be Iago from Aladdin, but that's not pirates. No. So, but you can do a brilliant Iago. Do you want to do your Iago impression? Do you want to do it? Come on, live with the mood, eh? Live with the mood. Go on, do you want to do it? Go on, because he does do a very good Iago impression. Go on, do it. Second! Yep. Thank you, boy. Yeah, so Phil has mentioned rum from time to time. I don't know why. Got a hook on me. Yeah, there was pause time there. Although we don't think we saw him using much wrong, did we? No. Yeah. Yeah, so it's got most disgusting. This just shows me what I feel about men's hockey, is that it's literally just a boys' club. You know, hooligans, schoolboys, who literally think they can do anything, say anything, and won't suffer the consequences for it, and think that no one will get hurt by it. And it doesn't. And it's just because they laughed. They laughed. Those men in that locker room, they laughed. And they can post whatever pathetic excuses they want on social media. Be like, oh, well, I didn't realise what I was doing. I didn't mean it. That's not something in my character. I didn't know that was offensive. I've heard it all before. Nah. No. That ain't gonna wash with me. Okay? It's not. Because you laughed. You laughed. And by doing that laugh, you committed an act of misogyny, an act of sexism that I cannot and will not tolerate under any circumstances whatsoever. Just like how I will not tolerate any form of homophobia at all. I'm always coming back up. Getting back up. I think if anybody tried any form of homophobia you, George, they would be killed. Yeah, shot on the spot. Just because he will not tolerate it. No. Any form of homophobia, George will not tolerate it. No. So, if you want to be homophobic, don't do it around George, because you might end up with a bullet in the back of your head. No, I'd kick him in the balls first, then consider maybe finishing him off. Not in that sense! Not in that sense! Not in that sense! Not in that sense, you know what I mean? You know what I fucking mean. Okay? But I will not put with it. I will not put with it. Okay? I was raised to respect women. Okay? So, yeah. So, that is a form of sexism and misogynism that I will not tolerate any circumstances, just like I will not tolerate any form of homophobia abuse under any circumstances. Okay? So I cannot. Okay, those players can throw whatever excuse they like, but I cannot, and I will not forget, and I will not and cannot forgive. Okay? Because I'm trying to grow a league here. I'm trying to play my part in growing the women's game. Okay? Something that I thought the men were all about. Aren't you supposed to be all about growing the men's game? Which is something I've not really seen in my 17 years being involved with the AHL. I've not seen really much growth in the men's game compared to the amount of growth I've seen in the women's game in just 3 years of the PWHL. Yeah. Oh, ladies coming! You're coming up! Our growth is just massive compared to men's. The men's growth is just sterile. I thought you were going to say infertile there as well. No, we won't be that cruel. You can be, George. Well, so no, that's not okay. Our growth has just literally, the glass ceilings were shattered on day one, they've been shattered so much they're unrepairable. There's no going back. Mm-hmm. And we're growing. We are close to 2 million fans, guys. Yeah, we are. We actually are getting dangerously close to the 2 million fans in attendance mark. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And we're going to contribute to that. We are going to contribute to that in under a week's time, yeah. But yeah, you're right, George. The growth between the men's and women's games, you cannot compare the two, because the men's, it's just sterile, whereas the women's, it's just grow and grow and grow. It's the point where the ceiling has been smashed, and you just cannot go back to the old days. Yeah. Wait, yeah. So, yeah. So I'm trying to play my part. And I will not put up with any form of misogyny or sexism whatsoever. At all. Okay. And I ideally would like to just go back to what we were before the joke. Okay? Where the focus is on the PHL 100%, and we just have to then take breaks every now and then for international competitions, and that'd be fine. and not to worry about what the outside world thinks. But I think that's the danger when you get your league involved with the Olympics, and that is you then have to then get involved in world events. And you do then get thrust into furores like this, whether you like it or not. And as much as you don't want to have to focus on the furore, you're not then made to get it. And Harry Knight has said it brilliantly, so I'm not going to dare try and say it in my own words, because I think she said it brilliantly. And also Tessa Julia on Jocks and Jills also did brilliantly, and I think that was the catalyst to go, right, you know what, if Tessa and Julia are okay to talk about it, then why shouldn't I talk about it? Because at the end of the day, us three, we all want the same thing. We want women's hockey to grow, and we are playing our part. And yeah, there's been plenty of times in the last few years when Tess and Julia have done something, talked about something, and I've always thought, oh, should I then? Because I've always got my own thoughts, which I can't do, but don't know what to do. Like with something Lansdowne, because I originally wasn't going to cover Lansdowne, and then when Tess and Julia talked about it, I thought, right, actually, you know what? Yeah, actually got my own thoughts on this, and I think I need to add them out, and that's what I've done. And that's what Pub Rain is supposed to be about. While the main focus of Pub Rain is obviously to focus on the PWHL, recap what's going on with the Minnesota Frost of the season, give you our thoughts on the news. It also every now and then has to be moments where we actually do have some deep, meaningful conversations about the women's game as a whole. We did that obviously this summer with the state of female coaches. We've done that. And I think this is another one of those moments. We do want to at some point do a video about an episode about inclusivity, because we feel the PHL has done a lot more for inclusivity than the HL has. But I think that's something that should be done maybe during the off season. So we'll see the summer if we get to do that. We'll see. But yeah. So thank you, Tessa Julia, for just giving me that boost that I needed to basically go, you know what? No, they're okay about talking about it. You've got to do it too, and actually it might help me to then release the tensions I've got about it, because that is just gonna. Because I do not want that joke plaguing my mind. I do not. I want my focus to be on the reason I'm here, which is to help grow the professional hockey league in whatever way I can. Okay, whether that's by this podcast or it's by Instagram or anything else. That's my role. That's my role as advocate. That is my role. As a self-proclaimed advocate, that is my role, to help grow the league in any way I can. So, yeah, it disgusted me. It disgusted me. And those players can try and defend themselves all alike, but I'm like, no, you laughed. You laughed at that. You committed an act of misogyny. You committed an act of sexism. Don't try and spin it on me. Don't try to gaslight me, because I've seen the clip. Okay? Do not try to gaslight me, because I've seen the clip with my own eyes. My own damaged eyes. Okay? I've seen the clip. It's disgusting. You laughed. I know what was said. I know what you did. Okay? Don't try and spin this. Okay? Don't try to gaslight me. Do not try to hoodwink me. Okay? You're dealing with somebody who has been involved with women's hockey since he was 13 years old. 13! Okay? 13! Okay? I've been with this game long enough to know when someone is trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I know when someone's trying to hoodwink me. I know, because I can tell. I've been with this game long enough to spot the signs when someone is trying to pull a fastball on me, okay? I can see it. I can see through it. I know. Okay? So don't try and spin this the way you want it to be spun. Don't try to hug with me. Don't try to gaslight me. I know what you did in that locker room. Okay? You should be ashamed of yourselves. You absolutely should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm so glad that there was not a single San Jose Shark on that roster. I'm so glad they were dispersed elsewhere, in Canada, in Sweden. Okay? And there's a couple of other countries here, but I've forgotten who they were, because I didn't pay that much attention to the men's game. With the men's game, I paid attention to Canada's games, so. I'm so glad there was not a single San Jose Shark on that roster. So glad. So glad. Okay? That would not have happened in Joe Pavelski's day. When Joe Pavelski was on the USA Olympic roster, that would not have happened. That would not. It wouldn't. He would have shut it down. That would not have happened. Okay? And this Olympic cycle was different because not only was it a more competitive tournament, but at the end of it, when all was said and done, we didn't then have to wait 4 more years for our next Thursday Women's Hockey. We got it literally 4 days after Milano Cortina. Literally 4 days after the cauldrons had been extinguished. Okay? I was literally welling up because I was so emotional because for me, for the first time in my life, I didn't have to watch a Winter Olympics knowing that, oh, the next time I get to see this is 4 years from now. And I'll be even more older than I already am. Okay? Because I do feel my age. I do feel it. I actually feel older than I actually am. But anyway. So, yeah. And it just... You don't understand how proud I am to be a part of the PWHL. Okay? You do not understand that pride. Okay? And actually, it's not my job to make you understand that. As an advocate, it's not my job to make people understand why I'm involved with the game. It's not my job to make people understand who we are, what we do. Okay? And it's certainly not my job to have to put up with the misogynists and the sexists in the world. Those people, I don't want anywhere near the PHL with a barge pole. Okay? Because you just won't appreciate it like I do. You just won't. I know you won't appreciate it like I do. Okay? Because if you haven't got respect for women, then what are you doing getting involved in a women's sports league? Alright? So it's that simple. It literally is that simple. Okay? I don't want, because obviously this takes a lot of energy out of me. It takes a lot of passion. It takes a lot of energy. I don't want to have to waste that on doing episodes like this where I have to talk about a sick, disgusting joke that actually belongs in the days of King George III and Alexander Hamilton. Because back in those days, women didn't have many rights. They couldn't even vote. I remember towards the end of the second act, where you see Aaron Bird swooning those ladies, telling their husbands to go and vote for him on polling day. Okay? That made me sick. But there was also a line in the Sky Sister song which also makes me sick. It's where he said, "I'm a trust fund, baby, you can trust me." Like, but I don't have to react. I don't get to the go straight and go. I just goes back and puts in the place. Go Queen, go girl. Rinse him a new one. Castrate him. It's getting morbid now, isn't it? Yeah, it's getting morbid. Yeah. My job is to inform people on who the PHL is. It's my job to educate people on what the PHL has done. And it's my job to make sure that people know how they can get engaged with the PHL. Okay? So, that is my job as an advocate, is to grow this league, to grow the game. It is not having to deal with the likes of disgusting, sexist, male showbiz pigs who clearly wouldn't be able to understand a women's hockey game if it slapped them in the face. Okay? Would not. Okay? So, I think what I've learned this season is the honeymoon period, which we've had in the last 2 seasons, that's now well truly done and gone. Oh, here we go. Here they come. These two know. Married couple on the bridge. Agreed? Yeah, nearly would. Those two know exactly what I'm talking about the honeymoon. There you go. The honeymoon period's over. Now, this season is when the grind has really kicked in. This season is when the hard work kicks in. And this season is the realisation of that 9 to 5, day-to-day life. That's when it kicks in. And every now and then, you're going to have moments like this, and you have to basically, respond in that situation. You have to not let it get to you. If it does let it get to you, take a moment, take a breath, take a pause, let it all out. And then once you've let it all out, get straight back to business and get down to why you are involved with PHL in the first place. That is what this season's taught me. Is that the honeymoon period, which had in seasons 1 and 2, that is well and truly behind us. Okay? That is well and truly behind us. Okay? Now is when the hard work really begins. Not just because we've had expansion teams, and we're going to have more expansion teams to come. Because I do feel the more teams we grow, the bigger the workload and the bigger responsibility that gets put on these shoulders. Okay? I feel it. I do feel it. Every time I do something to PWHL, I do feel that weight of responsibility on my shoulders. Because I'm playing a part in trying to grow this beautiful game that we all see build. And I can't look at my generation as the generation who are going to be the builders, the pioneers. We're going to be the ones who have to take the flak, who deal with the aggro, so that the next generation, they won't have to go through. I mean, who knows? There might still be sex and misogyny in the next generation. Who knows? I can't see the future. What I do know is that next generation, they're not going to have to deal with what we went through, which is where there isn't a league out there for you to watch. I mean, it's that next generation, they're not really going to understand what it was like back in the days when there wasn't a pro league to just check in night in, night out. Because for them, it's going to be there all the time. Women's hockey for you all year round. And I don't know if that generation's going to realise how lucky they are. Because what we would have given to be in that position where we could have had women's hockey all year round, like how you have men's hockey all year round. What we wouldn't have given to be in that position. So, to the next generation watching this in, say, I don't know, 50 years or 100 years. No, let's say 100. Let's say 100. So, for those of you who are watching this in 100 years' time from now, I hope you realise how lucky you are that you don't have to go through what we went through. And that was not being able to have a pro league to call home year in, year out, every single day of our lives. Because I was only 26. Yeah, I was only 26 going on 27 when the PHL was announced. It was announced in the summer of 2023. I was about a couple of months away from turning 27. So, for 26 years of my life, the only time I could watch women's hockey would be once every 4 years. And I can't tell you how much I would have craved for it to have been what I've got now. And I'm literally treasuring and cherishing every single second I am involved with the PWHL. Because I know that what I'm doing is to help grow this game further and help keep this league afloat so that the next generation, they don't have to worry about being taken away from them or have to worry about what it was like living without a pro league. Okay? So, yeah. So that's right. But, yeah. So, chances are, there probably are going to be more moments like this. Okay? And now we haven't covered the flavour thing. We're going to do it another time. That's for a separate episode. We're going to talk to you about the event that Flavour is going to be doing in July. The dates have been set for it. We're going to talk about on our episode, but we need to get the nasty bit out of the way first before we can talk about the nice bit. Because that's the way the world works. We have to do we have to do the evil bit first, and then we can have a little sugar treat. Okay? So, in fact, I might treat myself to a little sugar treat after this episode, because I think I definitely need it. And a nice glass of soda. I need a soda pop. Okay? So, yeah. Let's call today a cheat day. We've all earned it. Okay? It's not nice, it's not pretty, I'd rather we not do this, but we're going to have to be on them because it needs to be called out. Okay? It needs to be called out. Because these people need to know that doing stuff like that is not okay. It's not okay. In fact, to all you misogynists out there, I think it's our fair shit. This is how I finish it, because we can go on, but I'd rather not. Okay? So, I'm going to finish off by this. To all you misogynists out there, to all you sexists out there in the world, next time you want to say something sexist about women's hockey, next time you want to say something misogynistic about women's hockey, don't do it. Don't do it. You know why? Because actually what you're doing is you're not hurting us, you're not wounding us, you're actually powering us. You're actually fueling us. And you're giving us the means to go further. Because I generally feel that every time something misogynistic or sexist happens to women's hockey, we're not going to let that get to us. We're not going to let that beat us up. We're going to take that and we're going to use it to our advantage, and we're going to use it to power us and fuel us further to carry on doing what we're doing, which is to grow the women's game. So, you might think that what you're saying is harmful and hurtful. It's actually not. Because we're actually taking it and using it for the greater good. So, don't waste your breath, guys. Okay? Don't waste your breaths. Just lock yourself in your bedrooms and nosh yourselves off. Just yourselves, okay? Okay? You're that bored. Just basically go for it. You probably all need it. Okay? Just don't bother. Don't do it. Because it's not smart, it's not clever, it ain't funny. Okay? At the end of the day, you're just embarrassing yourselves. You are literally just embarrassing yourselves, guys. Okay? So don't do it. Just don't do it. It's a waste of your time. Okay? It's a waste of my time. Because I don't have to cover about what you've just done. What I don't really want to do. Okay? But, yeah. So, to do it. To do it. Right. Hopefully, that's now off my chest. And we don't have to think about that ever again. Okay? Until the next time it happens. Because sadly, there's going to be a next time. I'd love to end this episode by saying, okay, they'll never do that again. But we just know, don't we? It's going to happen again and again and again. But at least next time, we'll be ready. This time kind of caught us off guard. Because we weren't really expecting it. This time we got caught off guard. Next time, we're going to be ready and waiting. And we're going to throw it back in their faces. So, yeah. In the words of Huntrix, I don't think you're ready for the takedown. A demon with no fears don't deserve to live. It's so obvious. I'm gonna get up and take you down. Yeah, sure, just leave it, let it there. Yeah. Oh, I should end it there. That'd be the point when I end it. Oh, you're the master of illusions. Knocking on the Anasima. Look on the message that you're fooling. But they'll tell you soon, so how? How do you sleep or live with yourself? A broken soul trapped in a nasty shell. You're one, you want I watch you die. You can try, but you can hide. Let's take that from Supple. Yeah, love those girls. Love those girls. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna do that. There's probably a lot more I could talk about regard to it, but I think we need to put a pin at some point, okay? We need to put at some point. So hopefully, that's the last we have to talk about this. But I would not be surprised if it's not, okay? But with this disgusting joke, I'm not going to forget it. I'm not going to forgive it. But I'm not going to let it haunt me. I'm going to get back to what I do best when it comes to women's hockey. And that is to support the PWHL to the best of my abilities and help grow the PWHL in any way I can. And that is the mantra to lead this episode on. So until next time, guys, take care and don't forget to